Hello, this is Mr. Boughton, and I would like to share with you some ideas about the coordinate plane and help you to apply them to something that we all know and love, the Earth. That's right. The coordinate plane applies directly to finding locations on the Earth. And I want to go over that with you just to kind of make you familiar with it. It's kind of an interesting idea. And you should be at this point familiar with the coordinate plane. Of course, we know that there is an origin, right? The origin right here, 0, 0. And then we do know the two main axes, right? This axis that is horizontal is called the what? Yes, the x-axis, yes. And then, of course, the vertical axis is called the, yep, that's right, the y-axis right there. So how does this apply to the Earth? Well, a couple thousand years ago, there was a Greek mathematician named Hipparchus, which is a cool name. I think that name is going to make a comeback. I think it's going to come back. People are going to start naming their kids Hipparchus. Really cool. All right, anyway, this guy developed a grid system to use as kind of a map, and he put his home, that was in Rhodes, which is a city in Greece. He kind of put it in there to help them find it, I guess. I don't know. But it was a good idea. So people and scientists have used that system and refined it and kind of changed locations a little bit so that we can find our locations around this Earth. Now, the idea is we've got, of course, the x-axis and the y-axis and all these grid lines. Some of them are going horizontally and some of them are going vertically. The horizontal lines are called lines of, you might know this, yes, lines of latitude. And then the vertical up and down lines that go north to south are called lines of longitude. Longitude are north-south directional lines because they're long, right? They're very long going down the Earth. And then latitude are the east-west lines that follow the x-axis or follow the, what do we call that? The x-axis. The x-axis has a specific name on the Earth. It is called, yes, you're right. It is called the equator. Why don't we wrap this coordinate grid system around the Earth? This is what it kind of looks like. There we go. So we see that the x-axis is indeed the equator, and the y-axis is called the Prime Meridian. And these are the locations of those axes. There's also latitude lines that we see on the map and longitude lines that stretch north to south as well. This map does not show all of the lines. It only shows some of them because there are too many to see all of them unless we zoomed in. But in this case, we only see some of these lines. Now, the Prime Meridian is a cool place. There's actually, you can see that it mostly goes over water, and the equator is the same. Mostly water is what it travels across, but there are some areas over land, and there are cities that they actually travel across, and these cities kind of celebrate that. The main place, if you ever want to visit the Prime Meridian's official spot there, is up here in this country, the United Kingdom, and in Greenwich, United Kingdom. Greenwich, United Kingdom, you should visit that place. I know it looks like Greenwich, but it's really pronounced Greenwich. This place has the Royal Observatory, and this is it right here. This is the, well, this isn't the observatory, but this is the little monument they put for the Prime Meridian, and that is the line right there. They actually kind of laid this down to make something visible to see, and people come from all over the world and tour this. If you're in Greenwich, UK, go here and get your picture taken on the Prime Meridian so that like half of you is on the west and half of you is on the east and part of you is in 0 degrees right there on that line. Well, what about the equator? You can see also the equator here. You can see that's mostly over water, but you do study South America in your social studies class in 6th grade here, and in particular Brazil. So if you're traveling to Brazil, you can go to Macapa, Brazil, and they also have a special place you can go to right there. There's the equator line. You can stand right on the equator and get your picture taken. Speaking of the equator and the prime meridian and all those lines that we see, every line of latitude is, remember latitude's going horizontally, every line has a distance of 1 single degree. So it's measured in degrees. It's not measured in miles or anything. So when we are looking at this globe and we're thinking of here's the equator and there's all these lines of latitude going horizontally, each line is a single degree away from each other. That's how they're measured. And you can see on this globe right here, most of them will only put a mark at the 30-degree mark because it's just, you can't put all of them. There's 30 degrees, there's 60 degrees, and 90 degrees would be way up here at the top. Same thing with our longitude lines. There are lots of lines going around the Earth here, but this globe and most maps and globes will really mark every 30. So there's 30 degrees and another one 60 degrees. So if you can imagine other lines in here, there's 30 of them just going from 0 to 30 degrees, and that means all around this Earth there would be a total of 360 degrees all the way around right there. And that is how the coordinate plane is used on our Earth right here. So every point on the Earth can be located with 2 numbers. A latitude number, so that means how far up or how far down you go. You're changing the latitude numbers. And longitude numbers, how far to the east or how far to the west you are moving. In our activity that you're going to be taking part in, the eastern movement, moving in the eastern direction, in this direction, you're going to be considering those positive numbers. And then if you are moving in the western direction, then we are going to give those degrees negative numbers. Also, you know, if you're moving south or north, let me just start with north because I got red. If you're moving to the north and you're counting latitudes, then you would want to be positive, use positive numbers. And if you're moving to the south and you are counting your latitudes, you would use a negative number for those right there. So we're going to be using positive and negative numbers in locating some places and the distances between some places. And that's about it. That's how our coordinate system is used for maps and the globe. Hope you enjoyed it.